Hello.
Hello
Oh,
there.
hi.
I posted
I
a
put
thing.
a big piece of bread in my mouth, just a big piece of sandwich in my mouth. Right.
It
Right. And then
happens.
recording, and I'm like, here you go.
I posted a picture of a beer yesterday, and you commented, you're like, "Yay, Sudworks! Are you familiar with Sudworks?"
Yeah, so I used to live in Davis.
Oh,
Where's that?
Oh yeah, and
wow.
It's a Davis brewery. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah. And
dang.
so when I lived there, I was in my like I lived there during college age because I lived there from about like 21 to like 25. And I used to like they used to. I really hope they don't have this anymore because it was a dangerous special. There was two bars in Davis that have these are two Davis things. So Sudworks used to have $1 pint night on Wednesdays.
Nice.
I don't know if they do anymore. I would say they probably have like $2 pint night or 2.50 pint night. I don't know if they could. I don't know.
That sounds awesome.
It's like you really can't let college students pay $1 for beer. They're gonna drink 20 beers. Like it was not good. Like the most like sick everyone I ever knew. Like it was always from going to Sunworks. So Sunworks reminds me of people being just wasted. And then there's a bar in Davis. I'm going to assume this bar is probably still there. It's called The Graduate. And they used to have a 10 for 1 special where pay for one drink and get 10 drinks.
What the heck?
Yeah, no, this is a real thing.
What? Are you
Wow.
serious?
Yeah, no, and so like how it would be, it was to get because they wanted people to come out early because it was a college town, and so like sometimes people would like party at home and then they go out, and so like this bar did this because they wanted people just to come out early. So to get the 10 for 1, you had to get there at like 7 or 8 or like really early to be drinking 10 drinks.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Wow.
I lived in a co-op, and what we used to do is that everybody would kind of buy around, and so you would get around, and then the 10 drinks would go to 10 human beings instead of one person drinking 10 of them.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then yeah, so that's kind of what we would do. But once it got down to like 4 for 1, and a lot of times people were like, I'm drinking all 4 of these drinks.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, the sickest that I can ever remember being in public in Davis was in The Graduate. Like, for sure, wearing like early aughts, like black boots that were pointy at the toe that were very popular with the spiky heels. I don't know if you remember those. Just those boots, like hanging out of a bathroom stall as my friends looked for me. But I can't wait to be back in California.
That's awesome.
I can't wait. I'm not, it's the best there. You guys live in the best. I think you live in the best place.
I think so too.
Weather-wise,
Yeah.
pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, price-wise, not so much. But
Yeah.
it's crazy though because I bought that beer here in Tracy, and then we drove an hour and a half to Sacramento to our friend's house, and I took it with me because it was a backyard beer and the show was a backyard show.
Mhm.
And then it was a Davis beer, which apparently is right by Sacramento.
Mhm.
And then the
I used
host
to live in both places, so yeah.
and the host Angel lives in Davis, so there's a lot of like Davis references, and I had that Davis beer, which
Nice.
We were like, whoa, when you said you used to live in Davis. And we're like, dang.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I love Davis. And Davis is the kind of place now I've got like a bunch of now I'm chipmunking my sandwich.
I do that at work when I'm on the phone. And then I have to answer
you know what?
calls.
That's actually where I learned it.
Talk like I don't have food in my mouth.
Mm-hmm. I learned like when I worked on the phone in the call center, I learned like how to do so much stuff on the phone, like chew, eat, like sneeze, cough. You learn exactly when to mute your phone.
Yeah.
Like just a second so you can cough really hard or whatever. Or if you're like me, where like I used to smoke weed while I worked. And so like I'd be like hitting my pipe and taking a phone call at the same time.
Nice.
If you're like, okay.
Yeah, mute it real quick.
That job was so stressful. It was like the only way to get through it.
Yeah. Call centers are okay, but yeah, I work at a call center now, so yeah, I feel your pain on that one. So this is a pretty good place to start. What is up? Welcome to the Hypothetical Comedy Podcast. I am Funky Sam Medina.
And I'm Athena Rodriguez.
And we're here with comedian Katie Zane.
Woo.
Hell yeah.
Full of food.
Yeah. Comedian and baker. How's the you over there baking your little heart out right now? I guess not now you're eating.
Yeah. I had a hard week.
Yeah.
We're good. Totally. And one of the things I like to do to like feel better is bake.
Same.
That's awesome.
And so I wanted to make this. Damn, I am so disappointed with this cake. Sorry. I'm just like
Okay. No offense.
You're like, well, the one thing that makes me feel better is baking, and I am very disappointed.
Well, on the recipe, it was like don't overmix, and I didn't think I overmixed, but I think I did overmix it because, like, I actually do think that's part of why it doesn't taste right.
That's
right. Anyways, comedy, favorite comedy, very critical of self. I think that's actually pretty on brand for being a comedian.
Yeah,
I do too. For being a human, really, basically, because we're all pretty crazy and critical about ourselves. Hell yeah. So I don't know, where do we start? So where did you grew up in Indiana?
No, Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, I was close. Not at all.
Ends with an A.
I remember you went home recently, and I was like, oh, because I thought you were from Chicago, but you went home recently to
yes,
Virginia.
Yes.
How's life in Virginia growing up and stuff?
Honestly, like, it's funny because like I don't care for my hometown. I don't like it there. I don't really like Northern Virginia in general, but one of the things that was really great about growing up where I grew up was, and it's part of why my parents picked where we grew up, is that we had mountains and beach and city and like kind of a little everything that I got to be exposed to as a kid.
Wow.
And so like I grew up getting to go to like the Shenandoah Mountains and then getting to go to like the Atlantic Ocean. Like that's pretty cool, like to have that experience growing up, and then growing up really close to Washington, D.C. Like while as an adult, I don't love how close my family lives to D.C. because it kind of scares me. But growing up, it was cool because like every field trip I ever went on was to DC when I was a kid. And so
wow,
like
that's cool.
Yeah. And like one of my favorite, this is always like one of my favorite, I grew up in the Northern Virginia area things to tell people is that in the 90s, so on top of the Capitol building in DC, there's a statue, this like big, beautiful statue. Which you've maybe even like never noticed it because there's like a lot going on. But the next time you like look at an image of the Capitol building, look at the top of it because there's a big statue on top. Well, when I was a kid in the 90s, they brought that statue down to clean it. And so I got to see that statue like right up close, which was really fucking cool because it's like on top of a giant building. How often are you going to see that statue up close?
Right. How often they clean it? By once every maybe 20 years or something?
Right. Exactly. And so like, that's one of my favorite, like kind of like cool things because of growing up in that area.
Wow.
Well, and 9/11 happened very close to where I grew up. So there's also the 9/11 connection there.
Oh, that's crazy. Were you, I guess that is pretty close. I guess you were still in Virginia when that happened, 9/11?
I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a senior in high school, and that happened like the first like 2 weeks of my senior year or whatever. And the girl, this is dark and not comedy, but it's the truth and like reality. So that's also, I think, important. The girl
that's what we're here for.
The girl that sat in front of me in my history class, because I was actually in my government class when everything started going down and they were turning on all the TVs in the school. The girl that sat in front of me, her dad died in the Pentagon.
Oh, wow.
Her dad's office was like straight, like there was no. His office was like squarely hit by the plane that hit the Pentagon. And so there was like no chance. It was very, very, very sad. And I'll never forget like that girl freaking out. Because at that time, she didn't know that her dad had passed. But
Yeah.
when she learned, I think because of like the news and what the news was telling us, I think on the news they were saying where the plane hit. And I think she knew where her dad's office was or where he worked in the building. And so I think she knew or just had like a gut feeling and like knew in class because I just remember her crying and being really upset. And that's like that, and then being told that I had to go to work at the pet store I worked at are like my profound memories from 9/11.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I worked at a pet store
Come to
and I
work.
worked at a mall too, and the mall got closed because there was a bomb threat. And so they were like, okay, we're closing this. And I assumed because of the vicinity of the pet store I worked at to the mall that were the other place I worked at would also be not open. And they definitely were. And we were like, yeah, we got to make sure that people can buy pet food while the world might be ending.
Pets get hungry, even if there's a bomb scare. Pets still get hungry.
Yeah, no, there's, like those days you remember, right? And like, I think a lot of people, especially if they were of a certain age, I actually have this thing about dating. Like, I won't date someone who doesn't meaningfully remember 9/11. Like if you don't meaningfully remember that day, then I'm like, I can't date you. You don't understand anything. Like, you're just a little baby. You don't know anything at all.
Wow.
I mean, that is true though, like because everybody kind of knows where you were and what you were doing when you found out.
Yeah.
And
it's kind of like where people know where they were when JFK was shot. Like
yeah,
it's
I definitely wasn't born, but I don't know where I was.
I remember where I was when Princess Diana died.
Oh, I remember where I was too when I found out. Yeah, I was pretty young too. And you're a few years younger, so you were really young.
Yeah, I was on the phone with I was like on my phone with my best friend, who's my best friend that I talk about in some of my stand-up. And we were just talking on the phone, bullshitting on like a Sunday or something. I think it was like just a regular old day. And then all of a sudden she was like, turn on the TV. And I was like, okay. And then like we were watching, and we literally like watched the news together on the phone.
Wow.
Like we were two old ladies, except for we were like two 11-year-olds being like, what is happening?
Wow. Yeah, that was surreal. I remember that. That was like just a huge, crazy thing.
Speaking of Princess Diana, I had such a weird like knee-jerk reaction when I was looking at the coronation stuff about King Charles. Like they're like King Charles and then like Camilla, and I'm over here like that should be Diana. Like I didn't know I felt that way. I didn't know
until
I felt
you saw them
about it until like I'm watching it and I was like, I hate this.
Oh my god, my moment that I realized, okay, I'm never invested in this shit. Like literally,
it's all bullshit.
And then I saw a video, and so I click on it, and it's them crowning Camilla, and it just like made all the hairs on my neck stick up, and it was the creepiest feeling I had ever felt. And it should be beautiful, they're crowning someone that is a queen now, and it just felt like the grossest thing watching.
My moment was when I saw a meme that said, side chicks, there's still hope for you.
Oh yeah, I've seen all that.
Yeah. I saw those memes. It's funny. Yesterday, I saw like a bunch of Prince Charles, or I guess King. I'm not used to saying that. I saw a bunch of Prince Charles memes yesterday, and so I Googled to see what was, and that's how I found out that yesterday was the coordination or whatever they call it.
Did you say coordination?
The crowning of.
It is the coordination.
The coordinate. What do they call it? I don't know. Whatever. King Charles.
My roommate said the same thing. I was teasing her because I thought she said coordination instead of coordination. But then she was like,
what are words?
Thinking like coordination. No, she thought I said coordination. And then we were talking about how she was like, yeah, like get it together. And I was like, oh, I thought you meant like putting an outfit together. Coordinating an outfit. I'm like, all right. But yeah, okay, cool. We're all team Diana.
Yeah,
clearly.
Absolutely. So how did you get like from Virginia to California?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's called I got diagnosed with the MS when I was 19. And
that
is so young.
Mm-hmm. And I think I just wanted to get the heck out of Virginia. I didn't want to be in my hometown anymore. I had a really close friend who had like briefly moved to the Midwest and then moved to Davis.
Mhm.
And she was like, you gotta come out and visit, you gotta come out and visit. So in the fall of 2004, I went out for like almost a month to Davis and then fell in love with it. And I was, 20 years old. And then I came back and I was like, I really want to live in California. I really want to live there. I really want to live there. I really want to live there. And then my mom, I was like kind of miserable. I was like sad. I was like bumming out. And my mom was like, you really want to go there, don't you? Like, that's where you want to go. And I said, yeah. And she's like, all right, I will buy your plane ticket. But
Wow.
you need to like have a plan when you get there, sort of, which I had like a couch to sleep on, and that was like about it. Like I didn't have a job. I had like $20. My grandfather did his famous glad handing thing he does, where he used to like to slide people money. He like handed me like
the old drug
$100. We
deal.
went to dinner, and he handed me like $100 bill.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Um, and then my mom flew out with me. We flew out together. She stayed for the first week I was there. I think she just wanted to make sure that like nothing terrible was going to happen to me, and it made her feel a lot better to go with me, which makes like that's really safe. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of
Yeah.
true crime now, and I really understand why my mom did that more than I do.
Yeah, just to kind of see what your element is and where you
Yeah,
are,
like, do you really have a place to stay? Like,
what your
are
surroundings
you
look
just
like.
staying? You have a place to stay.
That way, make sure you're not sleeping on the side of the freeway or something. Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
No, and so like that's how I ended up there.
That's awesome. So that was a good way to kind of get your start.
Heck yeah.
Hmm.
What did you do in California? Did you end up like, getting a place and getting a job and stuff?
I just did like kind of like crappy jobs. Like I worked at a department store. I did work at the best thrift store in the world,
Oh
which
yeah.
is the YOLO SPCA thrift store. It's on Third and D, I think, in Davis. Um, Third Street and D Street. Um, and it's a really, really good thrift store. It's a really cool environment. Like I have a couple of friends that like on Facebook that I'm still friends with to this day from working there.
Oh.
Um, and so that was like a lot of what I did was like working. And then I lived at the co-op and I did co-op stuff like cooking meals together. And um, I so I'm an opportunist. I like to think of myself not as a mooch. I like to think of myself as an opportunist. So like where I see like, oh, if I do this, this can happen. And so when I lived at the co-op, I figured out if I was on like the board, I could travel a little. And because they would pay for you to fly different places to go to meetings. But it meant you got to go different places and you didn't have to pay for the airfare. And that was like pretty cool. And like not every place was super interesting, but most of it honestly was pretty cool. Like I got to go, I did co-op stuff in San Francisco. I got to go to Kansas, which is really random. Buffalo,
Yeah.
New York.
That is really random.
Yeah. And then Ann Arbor does like this big like workshop conference thing every year called Institute. Um the university like lends some of their buildings and spaces for that like event. And that's in Ann Arbor. And Ann Arbor is like a really adorable, just it's the only part of Michigan I've seen. I have to assume the rest of Michigan is adorable, just based on Ann Arbor. But that was one of the really, really cool. I should have taken my Ritalin before I did this. Sorry about the like
It's totally
scatterbrain
okay.
all over the place. But
No,
like, yeah,
no,
that
we
was one of
love
the
it.
best
We
things
love
about
it.
living in the co-op was getting to try. I got to travel around. I got to meet people. I have like actually the person whose Netflix account that I use to this day is somebody that I know from the co-op.
Wow,
Um,
that is
yeah,
awesome.
we've been like trading. We have been trading Netflix for HBO for years.
That is a
Which is
long
about
time
to end
relationship.
because like HBO
Yeah.
is starting that new Max service or whatever. Um, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to find out if I'm gonna be like, is the trade still good?
Like, well, how much is HBO? How much is
Oh,
Netflix?
I have
Let's
no idea.
compare.
I haven't like paid for a streaming service in a very long time. Like my ex, when we broke up, left all his streaming services on my Roku. So like I have all of those streaming services. Um, not that I
I
have
uh,
access
I
to that
recommend
quickly.
on Black Friday. I usually every year I sign up for Peacock for I get Peacock for $1 a month for a year, and I get Hulu for $2 a month for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. I'm bad at stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's like that's my Black Friday splurge every year is Peacock and Hulu.
We'll send you
You're
a
like,
link when they
ooh,
pop up.
$3.
Yeah, I usually post a
Yeah.
link in the group, so I'll probably post a link and be like, "Look, everybody, get this deal." I love it. I love it. That's cool.
But
So when you were in California, is that when you started doing comedy? Did
Oh
you go there to like
yeah.
pursue it because of showbiz?
so it's kind of my path to comedy is kind of weird because my dad kind of raised me. I feel like I've kind of talked to you guys about this a little bit before. My dad sort of raised me in this like junior film school environment where like I watched Citizen Kane when I was a kid. And we had all these like how to write movies books around the house, and my dad wrote scripts.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
And
I think you did tell us about that. That's super cool, though. Go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
and I it made me want to work in the industry. God, this damn cake is so disappointing. It made me really want to work in the industry, but also when I was a kid, I also had insomnia. And in the 90s when Comedy Central first came out, at night, they just played people's clips. Like I'm pretty sure that's all it ever was because it was just clips. It was just like 2 to 5 minutes a person, just clip after clip after clip. Maybe with
Wow. On Comedy
sometimes there was
Central?
like sometimes there was information about who it was, sometimes there wasn't. Like it just depended
Wow.
on the clip, I think.
Yep.
So, in real quick, in my area, I didn't get Comedy Central on my cable carrier until South Park blew up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like 1 or 2 years into South Park, and that's when I got Comedy Central.
I think I know how to make this more moist. Yeah. Yeah, no, because like our cable carrier, we had it right away. Like, because I like remember when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember watching that stand up, and I remember being like, I want to do this. And this is when I'm like 5, 6 years old. But then like life happened. And I got really kind of bullied when I was a kid, and it made me really insecure. And I tried out for everything. I tried out for everything. Like I tried out for every single sport. I tried out for every play. I tried out for choir. I tried out for everything because I was like, I've got to be good at something. And I really wish that they had like a comedy troupe or something that would have been more comedy or stand up adjacent at where I went to school and stuff, but we didn't have that. So I didn't really, the closest thing I had was I did improv.
Mm-hmm.
We had improv, so I did improv in high school. But then I really enjoyed improv, and I wanted to keep doing it. But then when I was in college, I got diagnosed with the MS, and that kind of put a halt on everything for a super long time. Fast forward like 12 years. In 2014, I started listening to Pete Holmes' podcast, You Made It Weird, which is a really, really great podcast. And that podcast, listening to all the stand-up comedians, like reminded me, oh, right, this is a thing I've always wanted to do. And I sort of like put it away for a really long time. And so in 2014, I was like, I'm going to do stand-up. Like I decided. And then I did not do stand-up for 3 years because I lived in the DC. I was still living at home. Because I had moved home because I'd lived in California for about 6 years. I moved home for about 6 years, and now I've lived in Chicago for about 6 years, which is why I'm ready to go because it's been 6 years. And I'm like, okay, that's my time. But the DC comedy scene is a little cliquey, and it's kind of hard to break into. And there's a lot more open mics now than there was in 2014.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and like because there was like no open mics in Northern Virginia. Like you had to go into DC proper to go to an open mic. And I had a car, but I didn't like love driving in DC. And driving in DC kind of sucks. It's kind of like driving in downtown here. It's like it just sucks. It's like no one wants to do that. Um, yeah, and so like I was just like, I don't know, it was just like too scary. And then about 3 years later, I ended up in Chicago because of my job paid for me to move here, and I wanted to live here anyway. And then I sort of fell into comedy. Like, um, when I moved here to meet people, I was actually in a pinball league, which I'm actually wearing one of the first shirt from the first season right now. So I joined a pinball league to meet people. And well, I was leaving, playing a league night, and this woman outside was in this like Paddington yellow raincoat. And I was like, oh, hi. And then she was like, oh my God, I love your shoes. The shoes I had on are these shoes I have that had burgers on them. They're Vans, and they have like cheeseburgers on them, like full ass burgers. I always, my burger shoes. And so she complimented my shoes, and we started talking. And then we immediately added each other on Facebook. We realized that we both had the same first name. We're both named Katie. And it turned out that she was a comic. And she invited me to hang out like with some comics. And then like I started hanging out at open mics. And then about, I don't know, within a couple months after we really started to hang out during the summer, because like we didn't like, we met each other and it was like months later we started hanging out. But I just started hanging out, and then I was like, oh, right, again, this is something I want to do. So I came up with one joke. It wasn't even really a joke. It was a story, a funny, stupid story about how I thought I was going to get murdered dressed like Miley Cyrus because I had worn it as a costume to a Halloween party and then got too high by accident. And that was the first story that I told. That like it was like the first story, and I told it at this like now defunct, not existent bar or mic anymore. I actually told it at a mic that's like hated when people talk about this mic. It's kind of like people, people, because I guess the guy who owned the bar, which the bar was named Patsy's, which but great, my roommate from the other room just now went, oh, Patsy's.
The forbidden bar.
It was just the owner was such a jerk, and then the guy who hosted the mic was kind of a jerk. And so it was just like, this is going to be in public, so people are going to hear me talk about this. This is fine. I just everyone kind of like has been like, remember Patsy's? God, what a dog shit mic. Like, and because like the owner was like a jerk. Like there's all these broke comics, and like he would like harass people about like buying stuff. And like, because you were supposed to have like a one item minimum, like you're supposed to buy a thing, which is like fine. I don't have a problem with that. But he would like harass people, like you need to buy a soda or a beer or something. There's a reason why that bar is not in business anymore.
Yeah,
oh my
sounds
god!
like it.
Yeah,
that's crazy though. How comedy kind of kept coming back to you and coming back.
Yeah.
Like it's. I really love telling the burger short shoe story because it's such a like serendipity story. Because it's like, yeah, it would have. I literally like. Everyone always assumes that I moved to Chicago to do stand up, and I'm like, no, I moved here because of my job. But it took like less than 6 months for me to meet people who weren't stand up, and then it was like within 8 months I was doing stand up.
By complete accident. Like you just met
completely by accident.
By complete
But it was
accident.
like as soon as I was at an open mic, this is ridiculous, and this is how you know we're all unwell. Like the minute I was at an open mic, I was like, I need to do this. Like I need to get up there and say things.
And at that time, because Chicago's pretty notorious for comedy, so I'm sure at that time it was pretty thriving, and there was a lot of open mics to go to. Was that right?
Yeah. I talk about this all the time with comics here. Like I miss pre-COVID mics because we used to have like 3 times more mics than we have now. Like we have like there's like a bunch of days where we just like it never recovered, and so there's just like not as many mics on certain days.
That's crazy.
It's better. But yeah, no, when I started, it was like, oh my gosh, every night of the week there was a million mics I could choose from, and they were in all the different neighborhoods. That's so cool. You could easily, if you wanted to like really grind, you could do like 4 mics
Wow.
if you just like timed it out well, which you could pretty easily do most any night. Not that's actually like nearly impossible to do now because people don't know how to do things anymore as well. Well, it's just that the people that are putting these mics together they're just like some of them are new people and they don't completely know what they're doing because
Yeah.
maybe they started during Zoom and so like there's some like stuff that they don't think about and that's like what time other people have their mics.
Yeah.
Like you want people to be able to come to your mic and you don't want people to have to choose and you have to like I'm glad there's a comic who's actually way more respected than me who brought this up recently and I was like, oh, I'm so glad she's bringing it up because people will listen to her, people won't listen to me. I don't know, I have a weird relationship with Chicago comedy where like it's my home scene but it doesn't feel like home.
Oh,
Yeah. Because
wow.
you're not from there, like, essentially.
Maybe it's I don't know, I think it's a combination of where I think all comedy scenes are cliquey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I have just never been a person that's on inside baseball. Like I'm never in the inside fold of anything ever. I'm like, I'm like the kid who was picked last in dodgeball kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
that's
no, me too. Me too.
Same.
In
yeah.
fact,
Or
we
like
were we were talking the other day. Sorry, we were talking the other day, and like I kind of unlocked this thing in my brain where in almost every situation where I've been, whether it's been working, social, living, whatever, I've always felt like I didn't belong. Like I was like
mhm.
an outsider.
Yeah, me
And so I'm
too.
kind of like working on fixing that or whatever. I don't know, being an adult.
I'm working on trying to mature.
I'm working on yeah.
Well, I have this like perpetual like no one's gonna come to my birthday party feeling.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
it's like a it's horrible. Like and like having to cancel my show this week, I was like, it's fine. It's fine that no one's coming to my birthday. Like I was like, it's
Oh,
fine.
Oh,
you're a really good producer. I really loved your I think it was like cautiously optimistic.
Mhm.
And then
is that the
I
backyard
think it
one?
was the backyard one.
Yeah.
Your little
Yeah,
setup was
it was.
cute.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I miss biggest regret in my life is losing that apartment where I was able to do that show because
Yeah,
I miss that apartment pretty much every day. I miss that apartment every day. It was such a good apartment. And I feel really strongly about one the reason why I canceled my show is because I couldn't pay people fairly. I wasn't gonna just throw the show knowing it wasn't gonna make any money and not pay people as much as I would like to pay them or what they deserve to be paid.
yeah,
And I think a lot of producers don't care about that. Like people will act like they care, but then I watch people do stuff and I'm like, It's just like people who talk about like they care about making diverse lineups.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am so like my eyes hurt from rolling them at all the like all male lineups. Or like we got three comics and they're all dudes. And I'm like, you couldn't have one person who wasn't a dude?
and they're all white dudes.
Or like that's what I'm saying. Or like it's always like, and they're all white. It's gonna be and then like
Yeah,
people are like, oh well, I don't like feel like I need to diverse things, blah blah. I'm like, yeah. Well, the thing is, Marcos Laura, who's a really great producer in Illinois and out of Rockford, Marcos put it really, really well. He's like, if you book diversely, you're going to have different jokes. Like that is actually one of the benefits of booking diversely is you don't have a bunch of people that all sound the same or accidentally kind of telling jokes that sound the same.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people just like throw comedy shows together. They're not I like to curate when I make a show. I like to like
Mm-hmm.
make a vibe and like put people together that like I think will go well together. I
Yeah.
want people to like one of the most you guys are producers, you get this. One of the most magical things about comedy is curating a night and then watching it happen and
yes,
watching people enjoy it and like that I have never felt so fulfilled in my life, I think, as when I produce something and watch people
Yeah.
enjoy it. Like,
Absolutely. And that
Yeah.
goes for like baking, that goes for art, that goes for everything. When you produce something that others enjoy, it makes you feel just like next level. I've made something that makes a difference in other people's lives, and you get real-time validation on those things.
right.
Yeah.
No, totally.
We did a show. It was July of 2021. It was our hypothetical comedy anniversary show at Tommy T's,
Hmm.
and we packed it out pretty good. There was like 60, maybe a little more than 60 people there, and it was just a great lineup. All the comics were killing really hard, and the headliner was on, and he was doing good. And I went, and as the, I was the producer and the host of the show, but I went and I sat at a table with my two best friends from my childhood, and
Hmm.
we are all three just sitting there just laughing, and it was just so much fun, and it was just incredible. And like the whole place was packed. It was us. It was a hypothetical comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that. That was a great moment for me.
That's, yeah. And it's like, stand up is such a like tricky craft in the
It
sense that
is,
like
yeah.
you're not, I hope to make money doing other things with writing and like scripts and doing that. I
Yeah.
don't think I'll ever make money doing stand up. And I'm okay with that. Like I would rather just have those special producer moments where like I just feel so good because I made people feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
I'm at this like kind of cool place where I want people to laugh and I don't care if it's not me that makes them laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just want people to have a good time and like feel safe. Like that's also really important to me. Like I want people to be in a space where they're going to feel like comfortable to be themselves and laugh and like
Yeah.
relax.
That's same uh wants for our, productions. We want, I mean, going back to having a diverse line of comics, it really speaks to the audience because the
Mhm.
audience is diverse as well.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, you can tell when they don't have the audience in mind. They're not going to relate to every single, person that looks like the next person than the next person.
It's like they need an audience of all white males to get the jokes.
Oh, stop.
The lineup of all
Like,
white
that's a good
males
one.
with the audience of all white males.
In unison. It's not even laughter. It's just, that's a good one.
I did.
That's not even a comedy show. That's something completely different.
They'd be heckled. They'd get heckled so bad.
They would get old.
I did a show last night actually with a bunch of white dude comics. And the good
Nice.
thing is they were all funny. They were all actually funny, which well, at least the ones, to be honest, the ones I listened to were funny. I didn't listen to all of them. I was really tired. I did two shows that like pretty much started at the same time last night. So I had to like do one show to five people because we didn't have a lot of tickets sold and then run to another show, which was full, but was all
Wow.
people laughing at white guy jokes. I when the one guy told a pussy joke and then that was getting huge laughs, and this other guy told a series of dick jokes, really, and that was getting big
Wow.
laughs, I was like, oh crap, they're not going to like anything I have to say.
Yeah, I feel like that too when the comics are being hella raunchy and the crowd is like super laughing. I'm like, well, I'm not very raunchy, so
I know, me neither. Like my stuff's like very. I don't even write with curse words. I do curse in my stand up, but like I don't write the curse words in. Also, like sometimes it's a nervous thing when I curse. Like it's not, I'm just like nervous because of like whatever the reason is, and I'll curse more than I mean to because I'm like I'm all like and it's like I don't know, when after you do this for a while, you almost feel silly when you get nervous, but I I call BS on anyone who says they don't get nervous. They're like, "Why are you getting nervous?" I'm like, well, because I'm getting up in front of people and saying dumb crap that I hope makes them laugh. Like, I have a joke right now where all I say is I'm touching shoulders. Like, because, well, no, I've been doing, and this is a real thing, like, because that's all my stand up is honest. That's another thing about my stand up too, is like, everything I say is true. I will embellish a little bit, but most of what I say is like, this is how it happened. I'm just telling it in this funny way. Like I have that new bit that I've been doing about how I lost my virginity to Adult Swim. And a bunch of people were like, "Oh, that's really funny." They're like, "That's really funny. Wow." And I was like, "No, that really happened. That's a true story. It's like a real thing." Well, my favorite follow-up to that too, not to work a bit while we're talking, but is the day that I know the day that I lost my virginity because it's the day The Matrix 2 came out.
Nice.
like Matrix Reloaded or whatever. Which Reloaded is kind of funny for a movie.
You can see which event had more ticket sales.
I think my oh no, that was a different thing. That period of my life is weird because I use movies to figure out days of like I know my MS diagnosis day because of the day that X-Men 2 came out.
Oh wow!
Dang,
and it's always
sequel.
Yes, it's always sequels. What happened with Back
yeah, well, it was the big sequels of 2003.
I remember the day Jurassic Park 2 came out.
I remember my life in sequels.
That's good though. That would be
like a lot of periods of my life where I could do that, but that like little period of time I can remember stuff because of when movies came out.
That would be a good bit though. Your timeline is based on when movies came out.
No,
every once in a while I'll do them as like riffs. I've done like talking about the Matrix thing as like a riff, and I've talked about I've done it. See, I guess it's not like structured normal jokes I do all the time. I just do them as it comes up. The Adult Swim thing was something that I was doing as it came up, but then I did it a couple of times, and then I did it at a show where it went really, really well, and I was like, well, I guess I'm just doing that joke forever.
yeah, that's happened to me before too. Like, well, yeah, I need a joke now.
One of the things I struggle with is that I write too much almost. And I don't like, there's a lot of like in Chicago, there's a big focus on like your hot five or whatever. I hate that term. It makes me roll my eyes. But or like it's because I did, and also like I don't write that way. I don't think about like 5 perfect minutes of stand-up. Like a lot of my jokes are like 1 to 2 minutes long. So I don't have it like a rapid fire high laughs per minute 5 minutes. I just don't. Like I could, I guess, if I sat there and like parceled it out, but that's not how I want to tell stand-up. And so I don't
more storytelling.
Yeah, no, totally. And I've been writing more short jokes. Like that's been coming up more because like I think I'm just trying to like work that muscle, like practice writing that way. Because it's nice to be able to write a 1-liner or a 2-liner or like have them in your back pocket. Like if shit's not going well, and then you can quickly say this, like, here's this dumb,
yeah.
Here's something else that you might not think is funny. Let's see. Because that is a little bit. It's like when you do a bunch of 1-liners, it is just a crash. You just spaghetti at the wall. Like, and like I will say maybe I'm not the greatest comic of all time. Like I am starting to like have a little bit more right sizeness and my abilities, right? I might not be the greatest comic of all time, but damn it, I always get a laugh. I rarely bomb. And I can normally make at least one person laugh the whole time. And I am okay if my demographic is really tiny. Like if it's really, like it's fine. I know, like you guys have heard plenty of my stand-up. My stuff is a little offbeat. It's dark. It's a little different. Some of it's the kind of shit where you're like, am I supposed to laugh? Like, is this okay? Is this all right? Like I did one of my shows last night when I did I lost my virginity to Adult Swim. Normally I get like a good hearty laugh because it's funny, but somebody last night went, oh. That's the response you want to a joke is a hearty, oh no.
Yeah. I get that sometimes.
He does.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I just got fired this week, so like I had to bring it up in my stand-up. Like I was like, I didn't do any mics this week, so this is why we're talking about it. Well, because like I got fired because I had one bad day. That's all it was. I had one bad shift because I was about to get on an airplane to go fly to my friend's funeral that next morning.
Oh wow.
And I had a bad shift where I guess I was grumpy at someone when I didn't mean to be and I was rude. But what's funny, and this is where I feel like there is a joke, is that I ruined their entire vacation to Chicago. Like, I should not be given that much power. Like, I think that's too, right? That's extreme. Like, you had an interaction with a door person at one bar and they ruined your whole vacation?
Dang.
Like, how much is your house made of hay, sir?
How do
Like,
they deal
do
with
not
road
light a
rage?
match.
Like, oh my
Right?
I used to work at CVS, and this one day I was on the phone with the customer, and another customer walked up to the register, and she had like three things, so I just kind of rang up real quick and just let her go. She complained to corporate because I was on the phone. She said it was the worst experience of her life.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was like a 30 to 60-second interaction. I didn't
Worst
get fired, but
experience
like,
of her whole life, dude.
yeah, I got written up for that.
You're the worst.
I think we have
Well, what's wild is that
standards.
I'm like, wow, you must live a pretty nice life,
right? Dang.
Well, also, I keep thinking about like how crappy was your vacation?
Yeah,
It's like I ruined it.
Dang.
that's crazy.
Like I was the linchpin of a good vacation. Like really?
All because of like a quick interaction.
It was all in your hands.
Yeah, all because of like
really.
a quick interaction.
Like,
You ruined the entire.
I've worked in customer service and had to deal with people's BS since I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like way too effing long at this point, over 20 years. And so it's like I know how to be nice to people. Like I also am a rare breed of human where I like to be nice.
Yeah,
Weird.
compassion.
Like I actually enjoy being kind and nice and being thoughtful of other human beings. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're in an overstimulating environment and people are very demanding and people are kind of assholes, it makes it difficult to stay nice.
Yeah.
I also think as a society, we expect too much nice. I think we expect people to be way too nice. Like I have this thing sometimes. Have you ever had someone be rude to you and you're kind of like cool with it? You're like, you know what?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not necessarily cool with it, but like, it didn't bother me for more than 30 seconds. I kind of like moved on with my life. Like that sucked, but whatever. My vacation to Chicago wasn't ruined.
Too soon.
Well, it's weird too because like my boss had to call me and fire me on the phone.
Oh wow!
And she like, I could tell in her voice that she didn't want to fire me.
Oh.
Do you think that
the owner made her fire me?
Like you fire her right now.
The lady had a gun to her. Like, you fire.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much like the complaint happened, and the owner was like, "Fire the host."
Wow.
Like there was no like consideration that like I was going through something that night.
Right.
I had a complaint about me before.
That it was a one-timer.
It was
like,
a one-time situation. I've seen people where like they get where they think unfair customer service or whatever the case, and they go for the person's job like that. I've seen that. That's so crazy because it's like they feel like they're justified or whatever, but it's like they're hurting the other person for a one interaction. It's ridiculous.
They don't realize that it's like something internal for themselves that's being triggered.
Yep.
And it really has nothing to do with the person that they're interacting with.
Right, exactly.
And I think a lot of the reason why we get these weird miscommunication things is because Sam and I were talking about it the other day, is like, we don't know how to read each other's tells. Like someone, like for me personally, when I'm anxious, like in an anxious mode, I cuss more often. My voice sounds more rigid. I sound like I'm angry, but I'm just anxious. I'm scared. I'm having like anxiety.
I sound really mad when I'm anxious too. I get it.
Mean.
Yeah. And the furrow brows.
Yeah, and apparently my eyebrows look like this.
Like
a cartoon.
Like daggers.
Just like this.
Daggers. Like little daggers. Yeah.
You're like, oh no, Athena's eyebrows are stacked.
She's angry.
And it's funny because she'd be like, oh yeah, when I used to work at this place like 20 years ago, this person was afraid of me, and like I'm so short and he was so tall. I don't know why he's afraid of me.
Oh, he goes, Athena, you're a really intimidating person. And I'm like, literally, I had to look up at him like, me? Like, so little.
Like maybe
I can actually see that.
Maybe it's because your eyebrows are always so angry.
Well, you're direct. You're kind of a direct. I feel like you're kind of a direct person because of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably makes people uncomfortable because I know I'm similar where like if you're just sort of like, I don't know, people don't know what to do when you're very forthcoming with information. Yes. They're like, I feel like when you're really nice too, when you're really nice and you're very forthcoming, people are like, this is a trap. What are you trying to do? Like, it's totally like, it's so messed up. Like, but adults, like when people are really nice to them, they get suspicious. Like I have learned this, like people like will not like me, but it's because they don't trust me because they think I'm going to do something sneaky because I'm nice.
Right. And the weird part about it is it's like, it's your way of like going, I don't want people to be tricked like I was tricked. So I'm going to be, completely transparent and get all the information.
The older I'm just like, here's everything.
This me.
Yeah, it's crazy too because I'm the same way. I'm completely transparent. I I'm completely honest about myself and about everything. And then I take everybody at face value, which a lot of times I probably shouldn't, but I do because I can be taken at face value, So
I used to have this big philosophy that I assumed everyone was good until they proved otherwise. And unfortunately, I do not hold that philosophy anymore. I think at best, most people are neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. I wish that everybody was good, but unfortunately, because of society and all the different factors and different like people's, it's weird because people grow up in different kinds of families and like you don't think about how people grow up and it's like have you ever talked to someone about like their childhood and you've been like, what? Why? And like you don't understand. Have you ever had a conversation with someone like that before?
Oh, in the sense of like I couldn't relate just because I didn't understand, like as in my upbringing was more traumatic. Mm-hmm. And so the things that they were like saying as trauma were like things that I couldn't relate to.
Okay.
Like
I don't know if
I
that
got
makes
3
sense.
cookies instead of 4 cookies.
Right. It's just I used to get beat. I'm like my dad left and I'm like, he didn't stay to beat you. Like it was it was stuff like that. And so as a kid, I had a very, I don't know, as a kid, I was more like an adult because it was that kind of like trying to fight or flight through my whole like childhood. So
yeah, when you're kind of responsible for yourself kind of thing.
Yeah. Or like when people talk about growing up with siblings, it's hard for me to relate because I don't get it. I'm an only child.
So we're both an only child. And so when her kids are fighting over like nothing, we're like, I don't get it.
We're like, I don't get why? Why are you fighting?
You're like one time when they were much younger, like this is like maybe almost 10 years ago. They were at where we used to live in San Jose. Our roommates had a dog, and they were like scooping up dog poop in the front yard, and they were fighting over the poops. And we're like, why? We don't understand why you guys fight in every opportunity. But we're both only child, so we never really got that. So yeah, totally.
A long answer, yes. We agree with you. We forgot our Ritalin.
Like my roommate will be like, because it's like, yeah, it's weird because like people do like different people experience trauma, but like if that trauma is really unrelatable, you're like, what are you talking about? Right. That's like, you don't want to be dismissive, you don't want to be reductive of other people's experiences, but you're also like, oh,
right. You're trying to read their face going, Yeah, that shouldn't have happened like that. That was wrong of them not to take you to the Bahamas for spring break. It's just like, I don't know. I think everybody like goes through different things in different patterns of their life. Like a person who didn't have quite the traumatic childhood would encounter possible adversity and contrast in their teen years or in their 20s or in their 30s. Like we all kind of like go through these weird things at different times of our lives and recover from them too.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
No, for sure. Yeah, I mean, in my family, I'm a fixer.
Oh yeah.
I'm the one that makes everything sure everything's okay. And one of the reasons why I love my family. I have a really great relationship with them, but I cannot live near them because I will start trying to fix instead of taking care of myself. So a big reason why I live far away from them is that. Because like when I was a kid, I mean, this is still true. Like if it's happens, like it'll just like slip up, like those old family dynamics. You'll just be like, oh right, I don't need to make sure everybody's okay. Everybody's all right. I don't need to do anything. And actually that carries through to comedy. That I'm always like, I want to make sure everybody's just having a good time. Like I said, I don't care if I'm not the person making them laugh. I just want to make sure everybody's having fun. Mm-hmm. Don't leave the party, please.
You just got here. Like,
I mean, there's punch, and it's very good. Maybe coffee cake. It's very dry.
I am disappointed with this coffee cake.
I really am.
Is it a crumb cake?
I feel like that could be the name of a comedy special. I'm disappointed with this coffee cake.
Is it a crumb cake or a crummy cake?
It's both. It is both. I don't know. The problem is I'm going to have to get one of the other humans in this apartment to try it. To tell me what they think. Right now, Athena, do you have this anxiety with your kitchen where like you hear somebody else in your kitchen and there's something that you made that's sitting on the counter and you're positive that something bad's going to happen to the thing on the counter because somebody else is in there? And like I don't know if this happens to you or not, but this happens to me. And you have kids, which probably makes more worry when they're in there.
Not so much. I like when they eat the food.
Yeah.
I always want them to eat the food. Who I don't want to eat the food is Gizmo. So yeah, if I see Gizmo walking towards the kitchen, I'm quiet. Like, better fucking not, because she knows she's not allowed on the countertops. Mm-hmm. And so like sometimes I've caught her and she's like, oh! And she runs down really fast.
What are you talking about?
Because a lot of people like their cats will go on the dinner table, on their counters and stuff, and for some reason Gizmo just always known that she's not allowed to go there. She still does, but if we walk in the room, she runs off and pretends like she wasn't.
So we know she knows.
So we know she knows. Yeah,
she's aware.
Oh man! And then what I found out recently was because I have a bunch of spider plants in my bathroom. And the reason I picked spider plants because they're non-toxic to pets, right? Cats. Mm-hmm. But then she got into the bathroom and started munching on them, and she started acting like a fucking crazy ass. And I found out that they have like a shroom trip kind of like thing for them.
It's psychoactive to them.
Getting in there every time that bathroom is slightly ajar, she will try to get in there for it. And I'm like, bro, you better get away from my babies.
Yeah, she does. And then we'll go one time when one of her plants was knocked over.
Oh my God.
And then there was like chew marks, and Athena's like, she was going for the big leaves.
That's funny. That's Charlie. I have to keep my spider plant hung super, super high up.
Oh,
so you can't get it.
Cute.
And then now that it's getting warm enough, it'll go outside soon.
Nice.
Oh wow, that's cool.
I like
Charlie's awesome.
Yeah, Charlie is pretty great. I have this fantasy about doing stand-up with Charlie just being on the stage with me.
Nice. Well, you've done it on Zoom.
I know. And he really likes the sound of people laughing.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah,
like whenever I
even if he doesn't start out in the room I'm in, he'll eventually come in and be like close and checking it out because he likes the sound of people. He likes people.
Aww.
That's pretty neat. Yeah.
Like, and part of it, I think what it is, he's like, "Ooh, there's a party. Like, let me go hang out. Maybe people will pet me." Yeah.
That is so cute. Katie, you
Right.
just said, okay, that you have the feeling of always being like, come to my party, come to my party. And Charlie's like, hey, there's a party.
Hell yeah, you're right.
hmm
Yeah,
Two
so
party people.
even if nobody else shows up to your party, Charlie will still show up.
Yeah. It's really annoying that you have to pretend to not care
Mm-hmm.
for people to care.
I agree.
It's stupid.
It really
I think a lot of things we do societally, anthropologically, I did it. I got the whole word out.
There you go.
But I think there's just like weird stuff we do, and I think like this whole thing, like the loser thing, like, oh, that person's a loser. Let's keep let's keep ignoring them, and like I wish. Yeah, like I have this thing where like I feel like it's like wearing a scarlet letter. Like I've got the L for loser, and everybody knows. And so like that's why they're not booking me on the shows, and that's why people won't buy tickets to my shows because I've got an L on my sweater and everyone knows. But it's like it's a societal thing. Like we make movies about it. There's the tropes, and the thing is the tropes are based on something. Like they're not just ideas that we were like, oh, these are great. We'll just use them all the time. It's like, no, these are real like things that we do. Sorry, now I'm just stoned and babbling.
No, it's okay. No, it makes sense because like you said that you were picked on in school, and we
Yeah,
were both
exactly,
picked on in
exactly.
school
I was
too,
picked on in school.
because
I
the
like,
mentality of like, oh well, this person's let me put this person down more to make myself
yeah,
feel
like
better
I
about
was already
me.
a weirdo. Like I was always a weird
Same.
kid.
Yeah.
I was always different,
And
and
I
I
was
didn't.
like I said before, I was always like an outsider, like an outcast.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like you and like when you're a kid, like that stuff really sticks with you when
Yeah.
you're told you're not part of over and over and over. You're like, oh well, I'm not part of. And actually, this came up when I was a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. I was out doing mics on a Sunday night because it's a good night to do comedy. And I was talking to this one host of this mic that's like was started by Rena Calm, who you might have heard of. Rena Calm is like pretty well known, originally from Chicago comic, like national touring. Anyway, Rena Calm started this mic, so I was like, "Ooh, it's an important mic," and so I never went because I thought it wasn't for me. Like I thought I didn't belong there. And that was for the cool kid comics, and that was for this group of people. It wasn't for me. So I didn't go for a really long time. And then recently, honestly, because of lack of options, I tried this mic out, and I actually like I love this mic. I kill, like I do really, really well every time. It's a good place to try and see if material works. I talked to the host about it, and I was like, yeah, I just didn't think it was a place for me. He looked at me like I had 8 heads. He was like, what do you mean not a place for you? And I was like, because I'm weird. And he's like, he's like, I don't understand. And I'm like, 'cause like my stuff's a little different. He's like, I don't understand why I don't want to be a place for you.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, well, he goes, he even said, he goes, you do really well whenever you come. Like you always do really well. And I was like, but I just don't. Yeah, but then when I did I don't know. I am I'm definitely like I'm in this like weird. I don't know. Comedy's hard. You have to like keep. Comedy's hard because you have to, with self-awareness, think that something is good, and you have to be self-aware to know when something isn't funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, there's so many comedians that.
Oh,
that
hold on
in
one
the
second.
scenes-
Sorry,
Yeah, absolutely.
Charlie.
Oh no, Charlie's in trouble.
Or dropping a deuce.
Oh, I hope not.
All right. He has really long claws. He was messing with something he shouldn't have been. He got stuck.
Oh, he got stuck. But there's a lot of
he's like
comics.
sitting over there and he's like, I'm like, okay,
You know, I
buddy.
got to do that before he pulls his shoulder.
Yeah,
over his
because he
socket.
always like twists his body around, so it's like he's like this, and I'm like, what are you doing?
But you just mentioned there's a lot of comics who go up on stage and their jokes are absolute dog shit, but they come off stage like they're the greatest thing in comedy.
That's the thing is, and then what happens to me is I am worried that I am that guy. Like I am worried that that's me.
But like no laughs. Like there's the contrasting difference is like you'll get at least one person to laugh. And we've witnessed like
no, you are
nothing.
You are crickets. Very funny. Like we saw your comedy just blossom during the pandemic.
Yeah.
You were just so amazing. Like especially towards the end when we were doing the Afternoon Delight a lot, and you would go on there and you were like you would just rip it.
Oh my gosh, you just jumped in.
Yeah. God, I miss Afternoon Delight. I miss that mic so much. It was such a good exercise for my brain, and it made me feel awesome. Every time I was like, oh my God, look how good I am at this stuff. Like there was so many times where I get off stage and I don't feel that way, but I love that mic. It was like, it felt so good.
Yeah. And that combo platter, man, a lot of people like, it's a big challenge, you know, and you would just tackle it every time.
Or when a newbie person did a combo platter and it was like, oh, like they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, never mind.
Do you think that you'll ever do like a one-off here and there of Afternoon Delight? Because you should like do some like pop-ups of that mic, because I can understand not having the bandwidth to do it every week because that's a lot. But you should do a pop-up because that mic really does roll.
That was a fun mic.
I love all the stuff
we want to eventually plan to do one in person.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be so great. I really wish that it wasn't like proprietarily something that belonged to someone else, but I really wish that I could do the wheel mic, what Tara did.
Oh my gosh. I've always said my least favorite thing about the wheel mic is that I didn't think of it. It's incredible. It's such an incredible idea.
That's so fun.
Yeah, like I so badly want to.
I do too. I wanted to do that on Zoom. Like I wish I couldn't because it was her thing. But like I would have loved to do something like that where the wheel with the topics and the people's names. That was incredible. 3 wheels, names, topics, times.
That's so fun.
That was amazing.
That would be such a good live mic. Like that would be super fun. There is like a couple mics here that are a little different that use wheels, but they're like one-offs, and they used to exist a lot more pre-COVID. Because there's something when you do straight stand-up, doing a little improv-y stuff is nice. It's like a nice stretch almost. Yeah. And it gives there's several jokes I wrote just from like ideas I got from doing Afternoon Delight or doing Tara's mic.
That's awesome.
That is really cool. Yeah, and then like when I do stand up, I'll usually do like 1 or 2 jokes that are just for that night, like about whatever's going on in the room or something like that.
Yeah. I like to do that too. I have to that's one of the big things over the last couple of years. I have to make myself focus. Because like I'll have set jokes I want to work on, but sometimes I get really carried away and like riffing or commenting or whatever. Because like sometimes you will hear sometimes you're in an open mic and the person before you does the most insane shit you've ever heard in your life, and you're like, I can't go up there and not talk about this. Like I can't. Like there was a guy, I couldn't tell you what he said because I try to immediately dump that crap out of my brain, but he said some pretty off the wall stuff. And so I got up and I was like, that guy is going to be on Dateline for sure. We'll see him again on TV, just not how he hopes, you know?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts about hosting that online mic that I was hosting is that I could kind of go up after everybody and just make my little comments about each person's set or whatever, you know. There's a joke that I have that's one of my favorite jokes that I wrote as a riff between somebody's sets on that mic.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, absolutely. My cat joke.
It's always a cat joke.
It's always a cat joke.
So, Katie, you talked about having like knowing when to let a joke go, Have you personally had a favorite joke that you tried real hard to make work, but nobody liked it? And you're like,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I have a couple of them. There's a couple of them because I have practiced kill your darlings the whole time. Like that was something I learned really early. I probably throw things away when I shouldn't, to be honest. Like I probably move through things probably too quickly. But there is a joke that I've been doing in the last like 6 months or so about my resentment about going to the bathroom. That like I resent having to pee like most of the time because I find whenever you have to go to the bathroom, it's always at the most inconvenient moment. It's like you just made hot food and you're about to sit down, and right at that moment, your body's like, ding, 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 we have to go to the bathroom right now. And it's like, cool, my food is very hot and it will not be when we're done with this experience, but all right, great. And it's like, nobody that like does not resonate with people. Like it turns out that most people love going to the bathroom.
Wow.
I feel like I do about it, and that's fine. What's funny?
I feel like you do about it though. It's a waste of time.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's always interrupting. It's always interrupting everything else in your life. I told this to my mom when I was home, and it resonated hard with my mom, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's where I get it from. That's where I get it from." And then I have this joke, which I actually have not. It's not a joke that I will say that I've like killed or that I won't do again. It's a joke that I am certain that I can do well one day. And it's because it's so dark. It's so dark that it's like, how do I get people to laugh about this? So basically, when I was in high school, the first the first 3 weeks of high school, the very first time I got called to the office, it was because they were telling me that my Girl Scout leader had died in a car accident.
Oh, wow. Dang.
So this is the very first time in high school I was called to the office. So as a result, for the rest of high school, every time I was called to the office, I thought someone was dead.
Whoa. Oh man, talk about anxiety. Wow. Dang.
You know what'd be crazy is if you got called to the office, and then by the time you got to the office, the person that said it on the loudspeaker was dead.
Oh my god. No.
Like the principal called me in the office and I got there, the principal was dead. I don't know what happened.
There was like a secretary for one of the administrators who was the mom of a guy I knew in high school. And she called me the wrong name like all of high school. I actually I can't remember if she used to call me Shannon or Deborah.
Oh my god!
It's not even close.
Not even something never close.
Yeah. Oh no, not even remotely my name. And I have no idea why. And she was so nice to me, and I never corrected her. I just was like, well, she is fond of me. She just doesn't know my name, and that's fine. Like, because she would let me use the phone to call my mom. Like, she was super nice to me. She would let me sit in the office when my anxiety was really bad, and I didn't have a word for it at the time. So I was just like, I don't want to be out there. And she let me sit there.
You're like, hi, Mom, it's Shannon.
Right?
Yeah, it's me.
Your mom's like, who is Shannon?
Thanks, Mrs. Logan. I know your son.
Oh, that's hilarious. So what do you have going on right now in Chicago? Anything going on over there?
Honestly, no, but not in like a bad way. I've got some shows on the horizon. I'm really trying to move out to LA.
Oh wow.
And so like that's my biggest focus. Even though like life just keeps handing me a bunch of crap instead of being helpful.
But it's crazy though, because your other two big moves to California the first time and then to Chicago kind of just like happened by accident, not accident, but like the universe just kind of said, here you go, you're moving now. And so I feel like that's that can happen for you again.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, Sam. That's a really good point.
Damn it.
I'm like, shit. Okay, I like to think that I'm super introspective and super self-aware, and I don't even.
I think that would be really good for you, though. There's a lot more comedy out there, a lot more opportunities, and you do belong. So you'll do great out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people, a lot of times when people find out I lived in California, they just think I'm from there. And I'm like, no. And then like people
You
think
have
I'm
a
from the
chill California
Midwest.
vibe to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I lived there, everybody just thought I was from there. Like when I lived in Davis, people just assumed I was from Davis. And I guess I guess especially at the time I had a real Davis vibe.
But yeah,
Like
you're living
I
there.
like rode a bike. It was very crunchy. I had my long, it was when my hair was like long and wavy, very hippy dippy looking.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Well, I hope you do make it out to LA. 'Cause I think that'd be
Yeah.
awesome for you.
yeah, I do. Well, I'm going out there for a fest
Left
in about a
Riot
month.
Girl.
Oh, Left Riot Girl.
Yeah.
Nice.
hmm I actually, because I got fired, I'm like one of the ways that I dealt with it immediately was I was like, I'm moving that flight. And so like I originally was only going for like a couple of days. And then I changed my flight where I was like, fuck this. And I was like, now I'm staying for like over a week.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, you got the
wow.
time now.
Yeah. And so like maybe that's gonna be my serendipitous moment is
Heck
that
yeah.
period of time that I just picked.
Yeah.
I'm crashing on someone's couch for a few days and then there's a really great hostel that's like technically walking distance to Dow Studios comedy studio. But it's like I don't know, this like hostel feels like super luxurious. There's like a patio deck thing and I don't know, it just feels so nice. Like for paying like $30 a night for somewhere in LA,
Oh
it feels like
wow.
the nicest thing ever. Yeah, hostels are amazing. You just have to share a room with people, which isn't awesome. But I currently share a room with someone, so I really don't care. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like my roommate snores, there'll be just different snoring people. Like that's
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for $30 a night, you can't beat that. That's cool.
yeah, I really like people should know about hostels, but like also, I don't know, there's a whole movie that's the horror
Yeah.
torture porn stuff called Hostel, which sort of ruined the
Yeah,
whole bit
you're
for
right,
some
because
people.
I don't really know what hostels are, but when I hear the word, I do think of like, oh, people are getting murdered or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Some
like
crazy,
bad things are
horrible thing.
happening. And it's
And it's like
weird because
hostile, hostile. I don't know.
yeah, the place I stayed is like so benign. Like there's nothing scary about it at all.
Oh,
Like
that's
it's like it's
good.
like it's like almost disappointingly like not creepy. They're like, and this is the part of the fridge that you can use, and there's no dead body part. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Covered
the
foot,
only thing
you
that's
know?
funny is that you can't. I did a bunch of jokes about this after I went last year, but you can't have like drugs of any kind, including cannabis,
Oh,
on their property. And so what I did last year was I hid my weed in like a pile of trash
oh my gosh.
because Koreatown it has a lot of trash. There's just a lot of trash everywhere. There's just like furniture bits everywhere. And I just like I found this bit of trash. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna hide it in here. And I sort of was like, okay, if someone took it. Like I was like, all right, if somebody
Okay,
like
yeah.
comes upon my weed and
Right.
If I
like, it's
lose it,
that
it's not the end of
bad.
the world. But if I don't lose it, it's still gonna be there.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. And
Yeah.
I also like I also did that very white person thing of me, which I was like, well, if someone finds it, they probably just need it real bad. And I'm like, what a good person of me to like maybe put it here for someone. Like, so
And then
gross.
you were that person.
and
There's
then
a
I
bunch of
and then it
rummaging
was
through
for
trash,
me.
looking for something to eat, and they're like, "Oh, dang!"
Yeah, because it was like their whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing with the hostels, like you just can't have it on the premises. But it was like apparently in the trash heap on the sidewalk, right next to
That's
it.
fine.
Fine. No one cares.
Dang.
That is amazing. That
That's
is
smart
amazing.
too.
That is really smart. Yeah, because like you said, either it'll be there or it won't be there. But
Yeah, and it was
whatever.
just like I don't know. I probably do dumb stuff. I have borderline personality disorder, so I make impulsive decisions, and I'm also just I'm very like I'm too trusting probably. Like I get told all the time that people are like, Katie, why are you just leave your things like right here and like anyone. And I'm like, first of all, none of my stuff has value. Like, if you steal from me, you're a stupid criminal. Like, I'm like, there's no money in my bank accounts. I just lost the job where I got paid cash. No more cash in my wallet. Like, there's nothing. Like, I have the bit about how I've never been jumped, and it's because I look visibly poor.
Like, that is hilarious.
Yeah, like I visibly look like I don't have any money. I look like I should be given $1.
A waste of their time, and she probably they probably like beat their ass, right? I don't think you would go down without a fight.
That's the thing, is everyone thinks that. That's actually one of the reasons why I got into being like a bouncer. It was because like I look tough. I am not tough.
Nice. Oh my God.
Oh no, I'm not tough at all. I'm not tough at all. Like I'm in PT right now. I'm in PT for my MS right now, and like it's actually in my charts, like still fatigues quickly. Like and so like, oh no, it's great. Like I look like I can punch. Like I look.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm like, in like boots, I'm like 6 foot tall. Like in the right pair of boots, I'm like 6 feet tall. And so like I'm just a big fucking mammoth person, but no, cannot fight.
Wow.
I am as they say, the kids say, a pussy.
The kids. What about the kids?
Hell yeah. Well, that is super awesome, Katie. I do hope you make it out to LA.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And thank you so much for talking to us and for joining us.
Sorry it was a little all over the place.
It was fun. No, it was fun. You know, you painted a good picture, and we were able to find out more about your life and things like that. It was super fun.
Yeah, and I didn't even, you know what? And I didn't even tell any drug stories. I did not regale with any of my crazy stories. Those for another time.
It's not too late.
Heck yeah. We'll try to have you circle back after you move to California.
Yeah, I get that update.
Yeah, more stories.
Hopefully I don't have new drug stories. I'm trying to not have any new drug stories. Old drug stories. No, I am literally like lowering my antidepressants right now so that I can start doing psychedelics again, so that I can cry a bunch is what I want to do. Like it's really hard to do on antidepressants.
I mean, that's the ultimate antidepressant, though.
Yeah,
it really is. Crying. Oh no, they're great. It's psychedelics do like that magical purge thing. I feel like as people, like we like store up our emotions, we like store them up. We're like bottling them up, and when you trip, it just all comes out, whether you want it to or not. It all comes out. And it's the best cry is when you're tripping. That's such a good cry. And I need to trip cry. I need to trip cry. I need that in my life. So with my doctor's supervision, I am lowering my antidepressant. Kids, do not do that without doctor supervision to do drugs. Do it the drugs without their knowledge, but the lowering with their knowledge.
Yes.
That's definitely.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug your social media?
Yeah, I am the KT, like the letters KT Zane at TikTok and on Instagram.
Yay.
Awesome. You can follow me at Funky Sam Medina across the board.
And I'm at She Shines For You, all spelled out.
No numbers.
No, like threes turned around.